You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's the morning weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, September 23rd. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather not changing much today. Most places will exceed 90 with a few spotty storms this afternoon. However, the coverage of showers and thunderstorms will likely increase tomorrow and Thursday in advance of a front. Let's check the upper air look early this morning. And again, there's a flat ridge in place here, so again, the weather's not going to change much, but an upper trough should be evolving, pushing a surface front in our direction later this week. Early this morning, that's the radar composite across the deep south. We have showers and thunderstorms over parts of Tennessee, and some of those could drift down into the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama a little later this morning, but the better chance of any showers today should be over the northern quarter of the state. We are mostly in the 60s to start the day, but notice Florence at 74 because of clouds there. Birmingham at 74. That's the urban heat island effect. Highs again, low 90s in most spots today. We'll see low 90s for one more day, then heat levels come down a good bit by Thursday and Friday. Flash flood watches today for parts of Arkansas, northeast Oklahoma, Kansas, and the southwestern tip of Missouri. And a chance of severe storms for much of Arkansas and east Oklahoma, northeastern Texas. Tomorrow, a marginal risk that's level 1 out of 5 from South Texas up into parts of the Ohio Valley, and that does include north and parts of west and southwest Alabama, areas in dark green on that map. This is for areas north of a line from near Chatham to Verbena to about Ranburne. And the main concern coming from hail and strong gusty winds with the heavier storms. And then on Thursday, the better chance of the heavier storms shifting down into the southern half of the state. Again, it's a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk south of a line from near Demopolis to about Jacksonville. And again, hail, strong gusty winds, the primary concern on Thursday. Rain for the next 7 days. Numbers are creeping up, and we need that rain. That's a good thing. Rain amounts for most of the state now in the 1 to 2 inch range. And the bulk of that will be tomorrow and Thursday. And then we trend drier by Friday and the weekend. So in the tropics, we have a couple of tropical waves and Hurricane Gabrielle to talk about. First off, let's take a look at Gabrielle. This thing really ramped up yesterday. The maximum sustained winds are now at 140 miles per hour. That is a Category 4, but we are so thankful this is passing well east of Bermuda. No threat to the United States. This thing could be close to the Azores, maybe later this week by Thursday night. And then it becomes post-tropical as it heads toward Portugal by early next week. But again, this is now an eastward moving storm away from the United States. Concerning the other two tropical waves, the red one there's a good chance that becomes a depression or storm, but that's going to recurve out to sea like Gabrielle. The orange one there, the one that's near the Leeward Islands, that thing might be brushing the outer banks of North Carolina. The models don't do much with it, but that could be near the middle Atlantic coast of the United States, most likely as a weak system. We'll look at the output from the European ensemble. And again, you can see that it shifted with that wave near the Leeward Islands, suggesting this thing could affect the Bahamas and maybe the middle Atlantic coast of the United States as a weak rainmaker-type tropical storm over the next 5 days. But notice the Gulf, good. This is the probabilistic outlook from the European, which is kind of a clean way of looking at that. And again, this is for the next 10 days. This is out through October 2nd. And the Gulf, nothing. But again, we've got obviously Gabrielle that's headed east. And then those tropical waves, the one that's farther out will be recurving. But again, the one near the Leeward Islands, and this is the chance of tropical storm formation. You could see it's up in the 30 to 50% bracket coming up toward the Outer Banks of North Carolina. But again, we stress all of this will be east of where we are here. So let's go through modeling. Model fans, European, OZ run 4 o'clock today. Still got the flat ridge, and again, for a pretty good chunk of the state, no rain. We think any scattered storms today should be mainly over the Tennessee Valley. This is the high-resolution HER valid this evening at 6 o'clock, and it's not doing much. It's showing just a few little spotty showers, nothing more than that. But tomorrow, this is when things begin to change. We'll see some dynamics involved. And the better chance of showers and storms should be across North and West Alabama. And with some dynamics involved and with low 90s, instability, there could be a few strong storms. We'll check the high-resolution HER model, valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, and at that point it's suggesting the better chance of storms over the Tennessee Valley, but again, those will be dropping southward tomorrow night. So just keep in mind, storms tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night could produce, in some cases, some small hail, strong gusty winds over North and West Alabama. And then on Thursday, it could be the better coverage of showers and storms shifting down into South Alabama by afternoon. But again, there's a very good chance most communities in the state will see at least one good downpour from this in that Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday time frame. And temperatures come way down on Thursday with highs dropping into the low 80s in most spots. And then Friday, the better chance of showers south of US 80, South Alabama, as the front slows down. So there could be some lingering rain Friday for the southern counties. North and central Alabama should be dry. Again, highs low 80s in most spots. So for the weekend, again, there's evidence there could be a little moisture for southeast Alabama, with a chance of maybe a few isolated showers there, but probably not many. Much of the state should be dry Saturday. The better chance of rain off to the east across eastern Georgia and the Carolinas. And there might be some rain for the Alabama-Georgia football game. That is in Athens Saturday night. So just keep that in mind if you're headed to that ball game. And then on Sunday, again, could there be an isolated shower over East Alabama? Yes, but probably not many. Much of the state dry. And you see that surface low that's right up here in the Atlantic off the coast of the Carolinas. That's that tropical wave that this morning is near the Leeward Islands. And again, notice the European doesn't do much with it. It shows mainly a rainmaker coming up toward the Outer Banks. And then Monday, it's inland near the North Carolina-Virginia border with some breezy and wet conditions for places like Norfolk, Virginia Beach. But again, for now, the models don't seem to do much with that. And again, here, maybe an isolated shower, but the chance looks fairly small. This is a week from today, Tuesday, September 30th. Again, a little upper low that's east of Alabama, and the deeper moisture should be east of here. Any showers should be few and far between. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out. This is Thursday, October 2nd. Ridging beginning to rebuild. And could there be a shower? Yes, but probably not many. I think for a decent chunk of next week, we'll see nothing more than isolated showers. Rain for the next 15 days in the 1 to 2 inch range. And really after this event here tomorrow and Thursday, things are looking kind of dry for the weekend and much of next week. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models still got low 90s today and tomorrow. And then low 80s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, mid-80s for much of next week. Could we be done with the 90s? Maybe, but we all know we can have, for sure, a 90-degree day in October. It's not that unusual here. Latest long-range guidance, not looking good for the cold weather fans, looking for that first good, crisp morning with lows in the 40s. Nope. The pattern favors that colder air being bottled up in Canada through October the 6th. Temperatures here little above average. Had a few scattered storms yesterday over North Alabama. Some of those were pretty strong, especially one in Morgan County. The Alabama State Bird took flight here. That's in Summerville. In fact, there was some damage in Summerville, which is down below Priceville. That's southeast of Decatur in Morgan County. So that was a pretty gusty storm that occurred there. But again, for most of the state, there was no rain yesterday. And again, a nice sunset, the first sunset of fall. The equinox was yesterday at 1:19. Sun directly over the equator. Gulf Coast looking good. And again, we are so thankful that we have no tropical worries in the Gulf, at least for the next 10 days. But as we've been saying here for a long time, we've still got October and November to go. All right, where are we going? Today going to be in Pickens County, West Alabama, Aliceville High School. Tomorrow, a 3-for-1 special. I'll be at Westminster at Oak Mountain for a program there. Then Bruno Montessori Academy in Shelby County for a program there. Then the Church at Liberty Park. It'll be a senior adult function. Thursday, going to be in Cleburne County, East Alabama, Ranburne High School. And then Friday, it is a homeschool group in Oxford, the Cheehaw Homeschoolers. Looking forward to that. I don't have the Friday night game of the week yet, the Friday night Rivals game of the week yet. We'll know here in a day or two. But anyway, looking forward to all those programs. Don't forget to watch us this evening on ABC 3340 News. And don't forget, you can catch my forecast every day on great radio stations around the state, including in Birmingham, 104.7 WZZK. Thanks for watching. Have a great Tuesday, and God bless.